Hey, welcome to Journey Junkie with Coach Jay. And today we're talking about mind over matter, a 30-day reset. That's right, a 30-day mind reset. I know many of us are talking about or thinking about doing these workouts. We're trying to lose weight. We're trying to do things to better ourselves. But what I found out is that most of us are good with going to the gym and we stay there for a couple of weeks or whatever, then we lose focus, or we'll do our normal walks and then we'll stop and we see no weight loss, or we'll start these different diets and we'll lose momentum. The reason why I believe that most of us lose momentum is because our mind is not fixated in doing so. So I have a 30-day journey that I've created with you in mind and me in mind to help encourage me to lose weight or stay focused and maintain what I'm doing when it comes to my regimen for weight loss or muscle build or whatever I'm doing in this hour. And I'm going to take you along in the process. In order to do that, I wanted you to stick with me for 30 days as we navigate through the mind preparation of what it takes us to get from day to day to day. And hopefully you can go back and review this after your 30 days or your 10 days or your 5 days and see how your mind has reset it or recalibrated to help you to maintain and stay focused. I'm believing that if you can find out some of the reasons why we're not achieving our goals and objectives because we're not ready, then maybe these things that we will talk about in these different days will help you. So the first day we're talking about, day one, is we're introducing the why the pause. That's right, why the pause. So let me explain to you what it means about pausing. Pausing is a moment where you're sitting back and you're just taking a moment and revisiting what you're doing or looking at things from a different lens. You're taking the time to say, before I engage, I want to make sure that I'm properly prepared for that. So the first thing you want to know is why we're here. This isn't just about losing pounds. It starts with sharing your journey about breaking autopilot and understanding the mind-body connection. It's not just about losing weight, you all. This is setting a tone to offer lasting changes, not quick fix. And what I mean by that is that most of the time we go in to, say, a diet or losing weight, we base that off in saying, you know what, I got to lose 40 pounds. I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to cut this off. But we never address the main things that cause us to get the weight. Now, mind you, I'm not talking about health related. I'm not talking about abnormalities in your body, things that is out of your control. I'm talking about eating habits, time of eating, exercise or the lack thereof, or over exercising and not giving the body enough time to recuperate, or putting massive amount of stress on you. So then you fall into that, when I'm stressing, I eat, and now you have to fight that off. So when I start talking about, this is not about losing pounds at this moment. It's about getting your mind right to understand that this is not a quick race. This is a journey. We're going to take 30 days of walking through the process to create a system. That's right. We're creating a system that works for you. We're creating a moment that allows us to stay focused, a moment that allows us to get in alignment with our plans and our objective to make sure that we meet these goals that we're setting. So the first thing we have to do in our mind and our mind setting or scheduling is to sit back and say, am I ready to go into whatever period of time you need to go into this weight loss or fasting or preparation, whatever you may call it, that you have to do. You have to plan. You have to strategically go in. So the first thing we need to understand, why am I here? Is it because of something that I want? Is it because of the health? Is it because I don't like my clothes fitting me or whatever? Or I just want to be more physically active and I want to see pounds drop off or whatever it may be. Once you can identify your why, then we can identify our pause. Why we're doing this. And then, yes, so our next step is pausing to understand what is needed to continue on in this process. What do I need to do to make sure that I can continue at least from day one to day two? We have to understand that we cannot sit up here and look for a permanent change on something that we're constantly working towards, right? We're going to permanently get a change after 30 days after we've seen that we done worked up a system that works for us. But right now, going in the back, you're not going to change something automatically in this one day. We have to stop this autopilot that we're on. And this autopilot is based off, and sometimes, as I said before, you're stressing. So you're stressed to eat. You're under pressure. So you're only doing it because that person is putting pressure on you for to lose weight or whatever it may be. And that causes a domino effect where you start something, you stop because you're not doing it for yourself. Your why is because somebody's pressuring you, and that's not going to be enough for you to commit to. When you find a reason why you personally want it, then you'll have something to drive you, which leads us to the next step. And it said, is this, why slow down? And what does that really mean to you? See, I want y'all to understand that the pause has created space of noticing patterns and thoughts around eating and health. This is the time where you're saying, I'm slowing down to see what my patterns are. I'm identifying what is my autopilot. I'm identifying the things that I'm doing that is causing me to maybe increase my eating habits or my lack of healthy training or healthy eating. Sometimes it's just a point, y'all, we just don't know. We just don't understand what it takes to go through this. We're stuck in what people may say. The third thing is this, the role that you play. Right? The role that you're going to play in this. And I want you to understand that you're not embarking on a journey just to automatically just lose the weight. You want to have a pattern, a system that works with you. You want to understand the role that you're going to do is taking full accountability for your action. That's right. Taking accountability for your thoughts and your outcomes. You got to sit back and identify that, hey, you know what? I'm doing more of this and less of that. I'm doing more talking than more action. But not to the place where you're putting yourself down, where you sit there and pointing the finger at yourself. Oh, it's this, oh, that. It's not in negativity. None of this whole series that we're going through, these next 30 days, is not about pointing the finger to say that you failed. No, we're going to achieve each day. But we have to get our mindset right. We have to get in a place where we're saying that we are aware there are certain things that we're doing on a regular basis that is stopping us from moving forward in the path or maybe to the path that or an objective that we're trying to meet. Again, identify what is your goals, what is your objective, and make them smaller. Don't have these big ginormous. I want to lose 40 pounds in 30 days. That's good. But how many can we lose this week? Can we just realistically say, hey, if we're looking at a 40-day or 30-day, we would expect to lose 40 pounds? Pounds don't drop off like that, y'all. I just want you to understand that. Pounds don't just automatically drop because you said, I'm going to do it in a table. So, you know, you got 30 days and you're saying you're going to lose 40 pounds. Do the math. You're going to break it down in 4, and 4 into 40 is 10 pounds. But in 30 days, you're going to have to do less than that. So you're looking somewhere, give or take, 30 days into 40, that's 1.7. So you're looking somewhere around 8, 9, math might be off, 8 or 9, what's that? 9 times 4 is 36. So you're like 9 point something in order to get the pounds that you need off in 40 days. 9 pounds, 8 pounds, 5 pounds is a lot. See, because the people don't understand this, so I want to share with you. When you're talking about losing pounds, it's not about just dropping them off the head. It's consistently keeping those pounds off. Yeah, you can drop off 5 pounds like this, but then you can go back and pick them right back up. So you have to understand the system that you have to create is when you identify that pounds are dropping off, you also have to understand what you're doing to keep those pounds off. And that's what we need to understand. So here's the simple action. At the end of this, you need to have clarity. And you need to pause for those 1 to 2 minutes before each meal to look at what you're putting on that table. Look at what you're laying out there. Do I got 4 helpings of food? Can I reduce this down? Can I put more meat? Can I put less this or less that? I'm not going to get into it. I'm going to let y'all know. I'm not doing all that nutrition. This is not about how much you should eat and bring in the calories and all that. I'm not into that. This is all your mind. You got other people that has breaking it. There's plenty of people on YouTube who can tell you how to break down the food, how you do your counts. I'm not about that. My thing is getting your mind right to have you to understand what you're doing. So if you're looking down at the plate, and you're seeing your normal set of eating. You got all this meat. You got all these carbs. You got all this on the other side of that table, on that plate. And you're going to sit down and eat that. Then you understand for that day, you're not trying to lose weight. You're trying to feed your stomach. And that's where that mental part comes in. You're going to have to sit there and say, I have to sacrifice and make sure that I reduce my eating in order for me to reach this goal and objective. But mind you, before you do anything, I always tell people, before you even go on a weight loss thing, seek your doctor and ask them what do they recommend. Tell them what you're trying to do and how you want to go about it. They may offer some suggestions. They may offer some plans. But once you have that together, you sit down and write your goals and your objective. Once you got that together, you got your understanding, then and only then should you now start laying out how you want to do, what you want to do, what you want to achieve per week, per day, whatever works for you. And then at the end of the week, you have that celebration. I don't care if you lost 5 pounds, you lost 1. If you was able to maintain it more than a day, then you did something. If you were able to hold that pound off for the rest of this week, celebrate that, and we'll work on it. Because one thing I can tell you, you can always extend past your 30 as long as you start seeing something that works. Again, day 1 is all about the pause, understanding why. But most of all, we want to go ahead and tell you in that pause, we're taking accountability. So I want you to understand this now. The reason why we bring this all together is that I want you to understand the point of this day 1 is to find an anchor of authority. These points that I brought up should be engaging to you because it's here to help you to understand why it's important for you to understand your why. Why it's important to understand why you're here. Why it's important for you to set goals and objectives that are relatable and that you can possibly achieve. Yes, you may have a big goal for the 30 days, but let's break it down for day 1. What is it day 1 that came from this that is so important for you? Write it down. I want you to create a journal so you can keep a history of what you're doing from day to day to day. Because as you use this going back and forward, as you go on different diets or different weight training or whatever it may be, you may find that mental stimulus right here in this day 1 or day 8 or day 12 or day 30 that you can use to help you. By journaling, you can see what worked for you and what changes that had to be made in order for you to continue on your current success. You are successful because if you look in this video, you found out this is something that you want to tap into and that there's something that you may be looking for that can help you along the way. Now, here's your call to action. This is what I want you to do. I want you to be motivated. I want you to take your deep breath. I want you to think about what you're trying to achieve, and we're going to strategize how to do it. And then I want you to go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, so you can be notified, that bell they say, so you can be notified when day 2 come and tell it gets to day 30. And while you're there, go ahead and check any other videos that we have linked here. One Move 5491 is a YouTube page. If you're looking at it any other way, if you're on Facebook, just go ahead and go to the full version and see everything that we're offering. Look forward to talking to you day 2. Day 2 will be starting soon. See you there. For you all know who I am, I'm Coach Jay, and I'm out of here. Peace.